Does anybody remember Countrylink? Yeah, that company that operated rail replacement trains before NSW Trainlink? I think it's fair to say it didn't work. Back in 1988, these smooth brains called Booz Hamilton did a report into country passenger services and said that they should all be shut down because they were not economically viable, despite there being in the future more regional services at Bathurst, but we'll get into that later. Obviously, this was denied, so Booz decided to make an all-XBT structure of services with everything else becoming coach-operated. For some reason, the government agreed to this. At the beginning of 1989, Countrylink came into existence with a really nice livery. Sadly doing away with the SRA's candid look. What is this? What is that? What is going on with Google Images? Let's just move on. It took over all regional passenger services in New South Wales except for the Hunter Line and the Ski Tube. Then, by the end of the year, a lot of stuff began being cut. In November 1989, the Silver City Comet was withdrawn. In February 1990, the Brisbane Limited and Pacific Coast Motorrail also went. The latter two were luckily replaced by XBTs, but no motorrail cars were ever to run, sadly. Then the Canberra XBT, a really good and effective service, was then cut and replaced by locomotive hauled services for some. Meanwhile, the Northern Tablelands Express was cut back to Tamworth, which cut with coaches running from Sydney to Armidale. Also in 1990, they decided to get some more XBT carriages because we forgot to get sleeping cars. Luckily, Countrylink grew a brain and realised that an all-XBT network would not work. In June 1990, the government announced that they would buy additional trains to replace the rest of the loco-hauled carriages. Hundreds of loco-hauled carriages, replace them with 17. Boom, the Explorers are coming. As August 1991 approaches, the Intercapital Daylight service ceased entirely. In November 1993, the Sydney-Melbourne Express was turned into an XBT following additional stock. As 1993 rolls around, things are starting to look a bit better. A tad bit. Apparently the only reason why they got the Explorers was to free up an XBT to Grafton. The Explorers entered service in 1993, heading to the northwestern Canberra. In November 1994, oh yeah, we might need more than 17 coaches. Better get 4 more. Then in 1994, the last ever loco hauled trains ran. It was a super depressing sight to all. The regional network, while having new rolling stock, was in depressing shape and needed something faster. So they did the standard for anyone needing a high-speed trains trialled ASAP. They yeeted an X2000 from Sweden down under. In 1995, Countrylink trialled the Tilt train. They also got 2 XBT power cars, gave them some equipment, then painted them in a livery that looks nothing like the rest of the train. Just replicate it in trains here. Yuck. After it went across the state on a tour, it then headed on the Sydney-Canberra run for a month before getting its free trial of not freezing to death expired. Then came 1996. An Explorer has derailed near Morrie. Loco hauled services are back to Broken Hill and Griffith. Well done. For a while it was sort of stagnant, so I'm just going to pop in some info about the XBT Maintenance Centre. It's this chonker of a plant that has a really cool 73 class loco. I wish that they did this with other stuff. Of course, they didn't. Here comes 2000, and the Illawarra line has just been electrified to Kiama. They got one of their endeavours freed up and converted to an Explorer. If you don't know what an Endeavour is, it's basically just a smaller Explorer that's painted in the Cedar Rail livery. Finally, loco hauled services finally ceased. Why did I use the word finally twice? The last remaining coaches were yeeted into the Transport Heritage New South Wales as of now. Then in 2001, an XBT hit a car at Garogari and 5 people died. I think that this would be a good example of another weird thing that Countrylink did. They put their signs inside abandoned stations, such as Garogari. Why they did this, I have no idea in the slightest. I mean, if you're going to refurbish the stations, then why not use them? What, was it just to have a nice coach station? Oh my gosh. In 2004, here comes Railcorp. They made a really dumb decision, closing the Murwillumbah branch line. All the XBTs heading up there now only head to Casino now, which is sad. Then they repainted their trains and coaches. 2011 comes around, and an XBT has just smashed into a repair vehicle, killing one person near Newbridge near Bathurst. Let's take a gander at how many trains are arriving on time. Jeez! Commonly trains are 10 minutes late. In 2007, only 12% of Countrylink services run to schedule. In 2008, 28%. 2009, 46%. However, by March of 2010, not one service was on time. Then by 2012, it was regular for the trains to be hours late. Gladys the small brain koala killer refused interviews a lot during this time. At some parts of the Sydney to Melbourne run, trains were doing 20 kilometers an hour. This is the problem that Countrylink never figured out. Your track is made out of molding cheese. The XBTs are supposed to go at 160 all the way. Finally, in 2013, Countrylink finally died and was turned into the regional NSW Trainlink network. We have seen some pretty big improvements since then. The Bathurst Bullet is an intercity network train. Why is the Bathurst Bullet an intercity service? I mean, it goes to Bathurst.